It's probably about time I actually cover this. So for those of you that may have not seen the last video I made on Forza Horizon 4, it was regarding a leak in Japan. Now I'm not going to go ahead and touch on that too much because that video will be down in the description, but around last week, pretty much as soon as I made that video, we got a more reliable leak about where Horizon is actually going to be. Kind of makes that video a bit pointless, but I'll put it in the description anyway, just in case if you are interested. And that leak was over a week ago at this point now. I did kind of wait on it because I just wanted that video to air out before I made another one so soon about Horizon, because I didn't want to bombard you guys with a bunch of these speculation videos. But essentially, in Forza Motorsport 7, there was a bunch of British cars found in the game files. These are cars which aren't accessible. You can only see the thumbnails of the cars, and the one weird thing which makes us think that Horizon's going to be in the UK is the fact that last time when, Horizon was in Australia, the exact same thing happened in Forza Motorsport 6. I no longer think Horizon is going to be in Japan, as much as I'd love it to be in Japan, because Japan is an amazing location, which I've talked about many a time on the channel. I now think it's going to be in the UK, and I want to apologise for flip-flopping this so much, because obviously I've probably led a lot of you guys to believe it's going to be in Japan, when obviously this came out afterwards. I didn't know until afterwards, obviously, but I just want to apologise for that. England, the UK, it's a good festival location. I'm going to try to be as positive as I can. The actual music scene and the festival scene here is amazing. There's a lot of big festivals here, whether it's Glastonbury, whether it's Reading, Leeds. There's a lot of big music festivals here, and I don't have any worries about the music part of the game being good if it is going to be in the UK. The problem I have is the car part. Now, before we go ahead and talk about that, I kind of want to go ahead and talk about the location and also the cars which were found in the game files, which kind of makes me think that, yeah, we're definitely going to see this. And one of those cars, which kind of was the main one, which kind of I was thinking, yeah, it's definitely going to be in the UK, was the fact that a London taxi was found in the game files, and I'll put a picture up of that now so you guys can see what that looks like. I cannot see in any world that being added into the game files for no reason. It's a very specific and niche car, and unless they're just doing a British expansion for Forza Motorsport 7, which I don't believe they are, again, I could be wrong, this is not confirmed from Microsoft, it's not official, so we don't know this, but a taxi, a British taxi like that, I just can't think of any reason why that would be added, unless, it has use for a traffic car, maybe, or maybe a little bonus car on the side for a Forzathon. It just makes sense in that way, and it gets me a bit disappointed that we're not going to be seeing Japan, because part of me kind of doesn't want to believe it's going to be in the UK. But that was the one car out of all of them which I kind of saw, and I was kind of like, it's probably going to be in the UK. And the amount of replies I had to the tweet I tweeted about that, saying fake taxi stuff, was ridiculous. That was absurd. You guys, wow. But anyway, going back to kind of the speculation and the discussion around this big kind of leak, yeah, England is a great place for the music. If anyone knows anything about the music scene and the music festival scene in the UK, you're gonna know basically it's seen as one of the best. I'm not gonna say in the world, because I'm not well versed in that kind of stuff, but I'm pretty sure it is known as one of the best in the world. So I'm not worried about that part of it. That part's like, yeah, okay. I'm kind of worried about the actual driving. England, and I'm saying this as someone who lives here and is soon getting a sports car, and I'll have more about that on the channel soon. But I'm saying this from experience. England is one of the hardest places to be a car enthusiast. Now, obviously it's a video game, so they can, exaggerate certain things and, make certain things a bit, not true to life. But if we talk about the actual location in real life, it's like there's speed cameras everywhere, CCTV is everywhere, the roads are very narrow, the great British B roads that you hear a lot of us talking about, a lot of them are literally 2-lane roads, like 1 lane that way, 1 lane that way for the oncoming. So I don't really know how they're going to do that. The motorways, even those are very, very narrow, like 3 lanes. Again, this can be exaggerated in the game because it is a video game after all, but these are things which are kind of in my head and I'm kind of thinking about, because you kind of do have to stay true. If the roads are too wide, then it's not really staying true to England. And obviously Playground Games, those guys are based in England, so I imagine they would. There's no real mountain roads unless like you go into Scotland and Wales, which again, it's the UK as far as I'm concerned, like I'm discussing the whole of the UK. Horizon maps don't tend to be actually true to the real life location,
they tend to either be they end up bigger, or kind of like a kind of fantasy version of that area. So it's very we could see elevation in the map with, you know, kind of Welsh type areas in the map, or maybe Scottish type areas in the map. But again, that's something which is going to be interesting to see how they do. I would like to see elevation. I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted Japan so much, is because there is so much elevation in the map. With Japan, the whole place is just pretty much a fucking mountain. With the UK, at least where I live, it's not really the same. Even the hills and the valleys, unless you go to Wales or Scotland, not really the same. Or like maybe up north near Manchester way, it's not really the same. It's going to be interesting to see how they do car culture as well here, because car culture is very underground in the UK. You kind of need to know the specific scene before you go in, and that's especially true for kind of the customizing scene in the UK, so like the JDM Euro, all that kind of stuff. There's very specific scenes, and they're very underground, so you kind of have to kind of find them. And then obviously the supercars and stuff, that's even more exclusive. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that. It's going to be interesting to see if Forza Blueprints comes back, or whether they're actually going to add a proper story, which I beg and I plead they do. I have a lot of questions about the next Horizon. Obviously, it's going to be announced at E3. I think everyone knows that. That's how it is every single time. And with Forza being a bi-yearly game at this point, I don't think it's any surprise that we will definitely hear something at E3. I'm willing to like bet that is going to happen. But I'm not going to lie, when I did see this leak, it was a bit disappointing. I think the inner, you know, fanboy in me wanted to see Japan. It's just the perfect location for any racing game. I don't really care who does it at this point anymore. I just want a game to do it because it's just so perfect. Everything from, you know, the fucking rice fields to the Togate areas to the Wangan. It is the perfect area. But with Horizon going, they can definitely do it right, don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting too much because Horizon's been very samey for the past few iterations, and I do feel they need to switch it up, especially with the crew coming out, and, you know, obviously Need for Speed being there. Maybe less so Need for Speed, but I do think that they kind of need to switch it up, even if it's just a little bit. I'm getting a bit sick of just seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. I think Forza's car list really actually hurts the game because they get complacent because they have such a big car list and they don't add features we want, like drift mode, which is one that I've been asking for ages. We know that we got drift zones, but it's not its own dedicated mode where you can go in with friends and drift around and have a good time. Like, there's a lot of things I think I could ask for from Forza, and I might make more videos like this, like discussing this kind of stuff if you guys are interested. But it's just interesting, you know, the UK. What do you guys think of the UK? Let me know down in the comment section down below. For me, it's a very 50-50 one. As someone who lives in that country, I don't think I would have liked to see a game here, but we'll have to see. I think Playground might be able to do it right, but I just hope there's elevation in the map and it's not just flatlands full of fields, because I am sick to God of sand and fields. Those are the two things I don't want to see from racing games anymore. The amount of racing games that we've seen, you know, do just fields and sand, like these two things. Need for Speed Payback, sand. Horizon 2 and 3 is just fields. I don't want to see any more fields. With Forza coming over here, why not have a big rally focus? Rally is huge in England, and there's so many areas here which are so well suited to rallying. I don't know why that would not be the obvious choice. You know, drifting and stuff is less so, but rallying, like actually having a stock rally mode in the game, like having Forza Horizon 1's rally expansion in the game to start off with, alongside all the other content, that's what I'm hoping for. What I'm not hoping for is a rally expansion later on, you know, that we've seen it previously, that's going to be on disc anyway. That's not what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that they really they nail it. I'm hoping they nail it. Even little things like maybe Goodwood and the motorsport heritage behind the UK. You know, there's no reason why Brands Hatch and Silverstone can't be in the game. And it's those things which make Britain unique in its car culture. It's the motorsport, you know, the fact that so many companies are outside of kind of like London. You got McLaren, Aston Martin, all in the same vicinity. It's those types of things which I want to see them capitalize on, not so much the actual like the actual like festival stuff. Hopefully I explained that okay. It's kind of hard for me to kind of put this all into words, especially as someone who lives here. It's just one of the things very weird to see how they're actually going to do it. And I guess it's going to be a bit of a unique experience for me because obviously I live here, so I know what the UK is like. But anyway, like I said earlier, let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. I'll always read my comments, so again, I'll make sure to go ahead and read those down in the comment section down below. But that's been it from me today. If you enjoyed, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have been awesome. Stay safe and peace.